I don't even remember what the email said. I just remember feeling a sliver of hope from reading it. And I so desperately wanted more of just that little glimpse into maybe this could help pull me out of this awful place that I was in. And so I emailed my friend back and said, this sounds great. Do you think I could come even though I can't afford it right now? And he said, yes, just come. But something didn't feel quite right to me about that, because I don't like taking anything from anyone. So I emailed Anna, and the email that I instantly, within a couple minutes, received an email back from her saying to just come. And a few lines that made me feel so excited that there may be something out there to help me. And I didn't know what it was, but at this point I was willing to do anything. And so I held on to that hope for a few more days until it was time for the group session, my first group session that I went to. And I was a little nervous because I didn't know what to expect. And I found myself in a room full of people that I didn't know. And as we sat down and gathered, Anna came in and lit some candles and spilled a drink on the floor. And that made me laugh, and she laughed at herself, and instantly I felt like it was okay, that this was normal, this was natural. And it wasn't any place that I should not have been, and, you know, and I felt okay with being there. And she started talking a little bit about who she was and what brought her there, and that gave me even more peace because she wasn't any different than I was or am. And so I was able to relax and to be open to whatever was going to come, because I wanted the peace so badly. I wanted a day where I didn't cry. And Anna didn't talk very much, just enough. It was just enough. And I was able to close my eyes and meditate and just be still. I think just be in the moment, which is something that I've always had a really hard time doing. I've never been able to really be still and reflect on what is going on with me right now, or just to feel okay. I've never been able to do that. I've never been able to meditate. And I found myself doing that day, or being there. And I wasn't really doing anything. I was just being there, right there in that moment. And I don't know how I was feeling, honestly, at the time, because I was just so grateful to be somewhere where I felt supported. That it's almost a blur to me. And when it was time to leave, I had a really hard time coming back to, I guess, reality, so to speak, because I was able to go to such a deep place of meditation. It was extremely hard for me to come back from that. I think because I didn't want to. And so as I went to leave, I felt very sick to my stomach. I felt very ill. And I didn't want to talk to anyone. I just wanted to go home and crawl in bed. And that's what I did. But I didn't cry. I wasn't crying. And I knew that this was the beginning of a journey back to myself. And I knew that feeling the way that I felt after leaving was a symptom of me ignoring myself for so long. And it was a sick feeling. So a few days went by and I kept to myself. And I'm always trying to intellectualize everything and rationalize everything. And so I'm trying to figure out what exactly happened to me and what was going on and what it all meant. And I wasn't coming up with any answers at all. And I received an email from Anna at just the perfect moment when I was trying to rationalize what was going on. And she offered to do a private session with me and reminded me that she was there to support me, which was huge for me. I was definitely lacking support in my life. So it was at the private session that I had with Anna where I was able to be still again and go to that place of meditation, just being still. It was a little bit more intense for me as far as releasing goes. But after I left that day, it's so hard to explain how I felt because it is a feeling that's really difficult to put into words. But I felt